Like, it's not for everyone, obviously. Not everyone can get naked and like offer their body, like sell their bodies.
Brighton is a city known for its progressive attitudes, open-mindedness, and is typically at the forefront of social change. There's recently been a debate on student sex workers after a stall was assembled at the 2018 Freshers' Fair for Brighton University students. The stall expressed support and advice for student sex workers, causing a lot of controversy online, including a harsh backlash from Twitter critics. We met up with Emma, a student living in Brighton, to discuss this further.
My name is Emma, I'm 19 and I'm a sex worker. I mainly do cam stuff and online stuff and like occasionally I escort. I've been doing it full time for a year now. So I do a lot of things. I do private Skype shows where clients come up to me and I get paid directly, like by PayPal and like stuff like that. And I also do camming on a website where I mainly chat, so I'm just like set up my webcam, log on and I chat with people, and occasionally there's sexual things, so they like tip me a certain amount and I would do something like sexual.
After meeting up with Emma, it was clear that she was confident and completely in control of her own work, and didn't even realise that newspapers and people online were debating students engaging in sex work. We also spoke to Rachel Stewart through Skype.
Okay, so my PhD is titled How Female Performers Experience Adult Content Webcamming as a Form of Sexual Commerce. And in order to conduct this research, I interviewed 35 webcam performers about their experiences of webcamming. One of the reasons why the debate around all the debates around sort of prostitution, pornography, sex work generally are sort of like basically geared around the rescue of a victim, you know. But what happens is the narrative of the sex worker gets taken over by other more vested interests. So with webcam performers, their narrative is quite easy to find. They're often quite articulate, quite open about what they're doing. You know, it's very hard to create a victim out of someone who's got 1 million Twitter followers and is doing very well. Thank you very much.
Rachel made some interesting points that explains the amount of backlash from people online. There's a sense of victimhood that's become latched to sex work, which paints a false narrative in the online sex work of today. Adult students who engage in webcamming are not victims, but are simply working to pay the rent and loans that student life demands, without having to work long-hour shifts.
Finding a job in Brighton is really, really hard. So I wanted to do something like where I had like control over like everything. And so like sex work like allows me to do that. I'm my own boss, I don't depend on anyone and I have control on everything. So if there's something I'm not comfortable doing, I'm not going to do it. I guess the bad thing about it is I could easily overwork and like get completely drained and like emotionally like it's a lot.
Sex work has opened up a door for Emma, allowing her to become more independent and earn a living in a way that suits her.
What was interesting in the women that I spoke to is that they weren't able to generate enough income to support themselves using the methods that we traditionally think will ensure a good level of income. What was quite interesting was that over 50% of them were educated degree level and above. So there wasn't really a kind of like a typical sort of person that was webcamming.
I'm lucky I live in Brighton and most people here are like really open-minded, so I've never had like bad reactions. I think like a lot of my friends and a lot of people think sex work is illegal for some reason, like escorting is totally legal. It's a good thing to like raise awareness about it, and I'm pretty sure like every girl at some point who go to uni considered sex work. So it's a good thing to like inform them about it, give them like resources to look into it, because like it's not for everyone, obviously. Not everyone can get naked and like offer their body, like sell their bodies.
We set out to find out whether the women behind the webcam were being exploited or empowered. After speaking with Emma, a student sex worker, and Rachel, who completed her PhD on the topic of webcamming, we discovered that the majority of sex workers feel empowered by their position in the economy and earn far more than they would have in typical roles within society, such as retail or bar work. The backlash from the swap stall at Brighton University's Freshers' Fair was understandable, but seemed to come from uninformed opinions, as there are many misconceptions when it comes to the dangers and exploitation that is faced by sex workers, especially now as it exists predominantly online.
Now most of sex work like is online, so you can easily block someone or like be really careful about what you post on Facebook, where like if you put your real name somewhere, or like, I mean, it's easy to make it safe online.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.